It's not. It's not. But Lucius goes on mercilessly. I can do whatever I like with her, and there's nothing you can do about it. She is not yours! Ron's voice almost deranged with anger. Don't you dare touch her! You're not worthy to touch a hair on her head! But Lucius just laughs. Ron's agony is genuinely amusing to him. The bastard, he knows he's won now, doesn't he? But she is mine, he almost whispers. Then surely I can touch her. Then surely I can touch. He trails his fingers down. Whatever part of her I like. No, this has gone on too far. Far too far. I wrench myself away from Lucius, turning to face him, standing next to Ron because he must know that I'm on his side. He must. I'm not yours, I hiss. He just looks at me, one eyebrow raised, his mouth twitched up slightly. For my mudblood, he whispers. Will you forsake me? For him? I can't answer. I just stand there, my mouth slightly open. As I take in the man who ruined my life, I'd do anything to be able to forget him and the agony he's caused me. His smile widens slightly, perverse, contradictory, blocking Ron out even further. I hold out his hand. He holds out his hand. Come on, Mudblood, he murmurs. You know that you need me. He doesn't understand you like I do. He can't offer you the protection I can. Right now, all I can feel is hatred for him, and how he's destroyed everything me and Ron ever had. And I step back from him. You're despicable, I whisper. His eyes widen, but then fades as Ron steps up next to me, putting his hand on my arm. She knows you for what you are, Malfoy, he mutters furiously. Don't fool yourself that she might love you, because she doesn't. She hates you, and yet she still wants me. Lucius drawls, his voice brimming with malice. She might hate me more than anything else in the world, but she needs me more than she'll ever need you, and she knows it. This is just getting. This isn't just sick anymore. It needs its own definition for how wrong this is. I need to get out of here. I need to be free of him. I can only live again when he's away from me. Ron takes hold of my hand, turning me to face him. I need you to tell me the truth, Hermione, he mutters rapidly. You're free to be with him if you want. But just don't lie to me, not again. I swallow down the guilt that pounds in my chest, and I nod, waiting for what he has to say. Is he telling the truth? Yes. As if he's afraid of what my answer might be. And I open my mouth, but bite down my automatic denial. Don't lie to him, he said. Don't lie to me. How can I answer without either lying or hurting him? I chance to look at Lucius for a second. He's staring at me intently, awaiting my answer even though he must know what it is anyways. I look back at Ron, whose face is bright with desperation. You don't need him, he whispers. He can't protect you, not really. He's just using that as an excuse to make you do whatever he wants. I look at his kind, honest face, and I wonder why the hell I'm giving him up for Lucius, who lies to me every moment of every day. Because the awful truth of the situation is too much for him to deal with. Mudblood, Why does that word have so much hold over me? Why do the two drawling syllables nail themselves permanently into my soul? So now I answer to them almost involuntarily. I turn to face him, his pale, cold, hateful face, and I hate everything about it. But I just can't look away. He's just staring at me, his piercing gaze looking past my eyes, as if they were no more than clear panes of glass, showing him every detail of my soul. He's using legitimacy on me. He hasn't done that for a while. He knows me too well to have done it these days. Are you to discard me, Mudblood? He asked, his voice the tiniest of whispers. I feel my face creasing into tears again. He knows. He knows me far too well. I can feel the invisible hand of legitimacy withdraw from my mind as he smiles the smallest of smiles. You see, Weasley, she longs to obey me. He murmurs, his eyes not leaving mine. His words are intended for me, and only for me. I feel Ron's fingers grip around my own again. Hermione, he whispers, his voice shaking. You don't have to do as he says. His eyes are so fierce that they're blazing. He takes his face in my hands. He doesn't own you, he whispers again. You do not belong to him. Who do I want to be? Should I be Hermione? Or should I be Mudblood? To think that I'd see a day when I had to think about that decision. A lone tear runs down my cheek. A tear for Ron. A tear for the situation. Hell, a tear for myself. And Ron's eyes follow the tear as it makes a slow progression down my cheek and to my chin. His face hardens as he turns to Lucius with a look of utmost hate. Why can't you just let her go? Ron asks fiercely. For God's sake, what do you want from her? Look at what you've done to her. She doesn't deserve this. Lucy's expression remains cold. But if you look very closely, you can see the darkness creeping into his eyes. I don't have to justify myself to you, Weasley. He shakes his head, almost laughing. What do you want? He asks. What, do you want her to love you? Is that it? No one can love someone who abuses them. That's what you're doing, Malfoy. Don't kid yourself otherwise. Lucius breathed a mocking laugh. And you know so much about making women love you, would you? He doesn't even deny that that's what he's doing. I'm sorry. Focus on the book. It's funny, he's just like, oh, and you know so much about that. Not like, oh, that's not what I'm doing. I don't want her to be in love with me. I don't want someone to finally love me. What? That's crazy talk. You're a liar. He's like, you know so much about it, asshole. Ron's face burns up red and his fist clenched at his side. Stop it. That's enough. He said Lucius, my voice cracking, but he ignores me. He stepped closer to Ron, looking down at him. Ron stares back at him defiantly. Don't presume to tell me anything at all about the Mudblood, Weasley. He murmurs maliciously. I know her far better than you do. I know. He pauses, running his tongue over his teeth. Every last part of her. Every part you'll never know. And with that, Ron's fist raises, flying at Lucius' face, but Lucius is too quick for him this time. He ducks, throwing his own fist into Ron's stomach. Too quick for Ron, just too quick. Ron doubles over, falling to the ground, and Lucius kicks at him in a sickening crunch again and again as Ron screams and yells, "No, stop it! I can't bear it! It's so unfair! Leave him alone!" I scream, grabbing Lucius and wrenching him away, but Lucius kicks him again. "I've put up with this for far too long! Weasley, He hisses venomously. Believe me, if it were up to me, I would have killed you the moment I saw you lay hands on her.